Good afternoon, class. So, ang tatalakayin po namin ngayon ay tungkol sa problem solving. So, first, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to discuss the definition of problem solving as a strategy in teaching. Second, identify the manners on how to use problem solving in teaching physical education and health. And third is enumerate the advantages and disadvantages of using problem solving and write an instructional plan in physical education and health using problem solving. Introduction. Problem solving as the strategy in presenting the lesson must be used when teaching in school, even in subjects like physical education and health. The Department of Education, or DepEd, 2013 pointed out the importance of problem-solving skills in the K-12 Basic Education Curriculum Guide as one of the skills pupils must acquire to live in the 21st century society. So dito, ang problem-solving ay mahalagang paraan ng pagtuturo sa paaralan. At itinuturing nito ang mga estudyante na mag-isip at magdesisyon ng mag-isa. Sa DepEd naman, mahalaga ito para matutunan ang mga mag-aaral ang kasanayan na magagamit nila sa totoong buhay. This lesson will discuss the definition of problem solving as a strategy in teaching, how to use problem solving in teaching physical education and health, and list the advantages and disadvantages of using the technique. Furthermore, this lesson will give you to the experience of creating a lesson plan using a problem-solving approach. So, dito ay malalaman natin kung paano ito gagamitin sa PE and health. At kung ang mga maganda at hindi magagandang epekto nito. Dito matutunan na rin tayong gumawa ng lesson plan gamit ang pamamaraang ito. Next is critical thinking and creative thinking skills. So, are part of problem solving. These skills are developed in physical education and health through learning environments that encourage experiences that direct the pupils to answer questions posed by the teacher, and beyond that encourage pupils to pose questions, develop solution challenges, ideas, reflect and suggest reasoned and defensible decisions, and develop personal and social skills of Pell and Soci 2017. Those critical, creative, and problem-solving skills are developed in an environment that enables vital truth. Hence, PE and health must engage pupils through processes and not merely be a site of physical activity provision. So, dito, mahalaga ito dahil nahasa dito ang critical thinking or malikhaing pag-iisip ng mga bata. Sa pamamagitan nito, dito natututo silang sumagot, magtanong, humanap ng solusyon at gumawa ng tamang desisyon. At ibig sabihin, sa PE at health or PE, hindi lang ehersisyo ang ginagawa kundi pinapagana rin ang kanilang isipan. So, steps in problem solving. So, first is identification of the problem. So, this steps exposes pupils to a particular situation. So, dito na lang is, halimbawa, dito, maraming estudyante ang mabilis mapagod at hinihingal kahit hindi pa masyadong matagal ang laro nila. Next is formulation of hypothesis. With the state problems, the teacher will ask the pupils to think of possible reasons for the particular problem. So, dito, halimbawa na lang dito is Halimbawa, sa tingin nyo, bakit kaya mabilis silang mapagod? At bakit dahil ba ito sa sa kakulangan sa kanilang tulog, or hindi ba sila kumakain sa tamang oras at hindi ba sila sanay sa mag-ehersisyo? So, third is finding facts. Pupils will gather information regarding the hypothesis using different resources like books, video clips, and other materials that can help lead them to understand the problem. So, dito class, halimbawa na lang dito is yung hahayaan silang magbasa ng libro at magsaliksik tungkol sa tamang nutrition at kahalaga ng regular na ehersisyo. Next is brainstorm. The collected information will be classified and analyzed to identify the possible solutions to the presented hypothesis. For example, an overweight individual must practice meal management, conduct exercise, or visit a dietitian. So, dito? Dapat, pag-usapan ang mga nakalap na impormasyon at mag-isip ng solusyon. Halimbawa, para hindi mabilis mapagod. So, dito, kailangan natin kumain ng masusustansya. At syempre, matulog din ng sapat. At higit sa lahat, pag-ehersisyo araw-araw. Next is test the idea. The given hypothesis will be tested to determine the best solution to address the problem. So, halimbawa dito is yung pagawa sa kanila yung sadong simpleng ehersisyo araw-araw at obserbahan kung bumababa ba ang kanilang paghihingal o kung tumataas ang kanilang lakas. Yun lang po.
So, here is the continuation of our report about advantage of using problem solving. The following are the identified advantage when using problem solving in teaching physical education and health. So first, pupil become independent thinkers. Ibig sabihin nito, natututo ang mga estudyante na mag-isip para sa sarili nila. Hindi sila umaasa lang sa kanilang teacher, kung kaya't kaya nilang magdesisyon at maghanap ng solusyon sa problema nila. Next, they learn to identify and structure problems. Dito naman, natututo silang kilalanin kung ano talaga ang problema at ayusin ito ng maayos. Hindi sila nalilito agad, kundi marunong silang mag-analyze ng sitwasyon. Next, they learn to gather valid and reliable sources. Natututo silang pumili ng tamang informasyon, hindi basta-basta naniniwala. Sinisiguro din nila na tama ang kanilang sources at saka mapagkakatiwalaan ito. Next, they learn to formulate hypotheses. Ibig sabihin, natututo silang magbigay ng posibleng sagot o paliwanag sa isang problema. Parang nag-iisip sila ng what-if scenarios bago mag-decide. Kumbaga, ang mga bata, advance na sila mag-isip. Nag-a-advance sila mag-isip bago sila mag-decide kung ano ba dapat ang kanilang gagawin. To number 5, they learn to test the hypothesis and gather data to prove or disprove the identified hypothesis. Dito, hindi lang sila hanggang idea lang. Sinusubukan nila kung tama ba ang kanilang naisip. Dito nila nakikita kung effective ba o hindi ang kanilang solusyon. And then, number 6, they learn to solve real-life problems. So, ito ang pinaka-importante kasi nagagamit nila ang natutunan sa totoong buhay. Hindi lang ito pang classroom, applicable din siya sa pang-araw-araw na sitwasyon. Kasi nga, 'di ba yung mga pupils nakaka-encounter na sila ng totoong problem sa totoong buhay. Kung kaya itong advantage na to, nakakatulong to sa kanila para magbigay ng gabay and then yun nga, nagagamit nila ito and then nakakatulong din sa kanila itong advantage na to. Number 7, they learn to gain familiarity with various objects or situation around them, their application and their relationship instead of having simple knowledge. So dito, mas nagiging familiar sila sa mga sitwasyon sa paligid nila. Naiintindihan nila kung paano ito gumana at paano sila kikilos sa ganitong pagkakataon. And then the number 8, they institute a healthy and favorable relationship with teachers and classmates. Dahil madalas group work ang problem solving, natututo silang makipag-cooperate sa classmates at magkaroon ng magandang relasyon sa teachers. And then the number 9, they develop scientific manners of solving problems. Natututo silang maging systematic, hindi basta hula lang. May proseso silang sinusunod tulad ng pag-observe, pag-analyze at pag-test ng ideas. Kumbaga dito, meron silang pinagbabasehan. Hindi lang sila basta-bastang naguhula lang. Ito yung dito, meron silang proseso na sinusunod. Dito, nag-o-observe muna sila and then nag-a-analyze at pagkatapos nun, nagtetest na sila ng ideas nila. Then, the last advantage when using problem solving is they develop creative, critical, cooperative, and problem solving skills. So, sa kabuuan, nade-develop ang iba't ibang skills nila, creativity sa pag-iisip ng solusyon, critical thinking sa pag-a-analyze, cooperation sa teamwork at problem solving sa pagharap sa challenge. So, sa paggamit ng problem solving bilang teaching strategies, maraming benefits ang natatanggap ng mga estudyante. So, una na dito, nagiging independent thinker sila dahil natututo silang mag-isip at magdesisyon para sa sarili nila. Hindi lang umaasa sa guro. And then, kasabay din nito, natututo rin silang kilalanin at ayusin ang isang problema kaya mas nagiging malinaw sa kanila kung ano ang dapat na solusyonan. Bukod pa rito, natututo din silang maghanap ng tamang impormasyon mula sa mga mapapagkatiwalaang sources. Kaya, mas nagiging critical sila sa pag-evaluate ng data. Nakakabuo rin sila ng hypothesis o posibleng sagot sa problema. At mas mahalaga, natututo silang subukan ito upang makitang epektibo o hindi lang ang kanilang solusyon. Higit sa lahat, nagagamit nila ang mga kasanayang ito sa totoong buhay, hindi lang sa loob ng classroom. Mas nagiging familiar sila sa mga sitwasyon sa kanilang paligid at natututong mag-adjust at kumilos ng tama. Dahil kadalasang may group activities, napapalakas din ang kanilang pagkikipag-ugnayan sa kanilang mga kaklase at guro. So, sa paggamit ng advantage of using problem solving, mas natutulungan tayong mag-isip, pumili, at mag-observe ng dapat nating isusolusyon sa ating mga problems.
Good afternoon, everyone. My topic is all about disadvantages of using problem solving in P&L Health. Let's begin. Why are there disadvantages in problem solving in P&L Health? There are disadvantages of using problem solving in P&L Health because this teaching strategy is not always easy to apply in every situation. Although problem solving helps students think critically and become more independent, it also has challenges for both teachers and students. For this slide, meron tayong disadvantages of using problem-solving strategy and P&L Health. At hindi daw madali ang paggamit ng problem-solving strategy in every situation. Although daw na ang problem-solving ay nakakatulong sa mga student na mag-isip at maging independent, it also has challenges. So, meron rin siyang challenges for both teachers and students. Disadvantages of using problem solving. These are the notable disadvantages of using problem-solving strategies in teaching. First, disadvantages of using problem-solving strategies. First is it is time-consuming. Problem-solving activities take more time because students need to think, discuss, plan, and try solutions instead of just listening to instructions of the teacher. In this slide, matagal daw gawin ang problem-solving sa mga activities dahil kailangang mag-isip, magplano at mag-try ng mga solusyon ang mga estudyante. Imbis daw na makinig na lang sa mga instruction ng kanilang teacher, kailangan pa nilang mag-isip kung ano ang pwedeng maging solusyon dito. Kaya it is very time-consuming. I have an example for the first disadvantages in problem-solving strategy. Example, in volleyball, students are asked to create ways to improve their serving. Most of the time is spent on discussion and practice. So, for that example, in volleyball, pinapagawa daw dito ang mga estudyante ng paraan para ma-improve or gumaling sila sa pag-serve ng bola. Dito, nauubos ang oras nila sa discussion and practice kaysa sa ituro ng teacher ang tamang pag-serve ng bola. Para sana mas madaling maintindihan at matuto ang mga bata ng tamang pag-serve ng bola ng volleyball. The second disadvantages of using problem-solving strategies is the ability of the teacher to conduct and handle problem-solving activities in the classroom. Not all teachers are skilled in managing problem-solving activities. Teachers may find it hard to guide students properly, especially during group discussion or activities. Example in PE, during a group task on designing a warm-up routine, students argue about what exercises to include. The teacher struggles to guide them properly. Habang pinapagawa daw ni teacher ang bawat grupo ng isang warm-up routine, nagtatalo daw ang mga estudyante kung ano-ano ang mga dapat gawing exercises. So dahil dito, nahihirapan daw ang teacher na gabayan or mag-guide sila ng tama. Dahil iba-iba ang kanilang mga opinion or suggestion. Yan ang second disadvantages in problem-solving strategies. The third disadvantages is it requires many people's involvement and more time for preparation, discussion, and comparison of pupils' answers. It needs more preparation and active participation from students. Problem solving needs group work, discussion, and comparisons of answer, which takes more time and effort from both teachers and students. I have an example. The teacher asked, how can we prevent injuries in games? Students work in groups, discuss and compare answers. Dito ay magtatanong ang teacher, halimbawa, paano maiiwasan ang injury sa laro? So, ang mga students ay magtutulungan sa bawat grupo, magdi-discuss ng kanilang mga sagot at magkukumpara ng kanilang mga answers. So, dito, it requires more participation and preparation time. Number 4, it requires the integration of multiple disciplines so that pupils can have different views of the problem. Problem solving and PN health often combines different subjects like science, math, and values, so students can understand the problem from different perspectives. Students must combine knowledge from different areas like science, math, and values, which can be challenging. So, very challenging ito sa mga students dahil kinocombine nila ang kanilang mga knowledge from different areas. Example, a problem like how can we improve our volleyball performance without getting tired easily? So it involves science for body energy and muscles, math for counting repetition or time of drills, values for teamwork and discipline. So some students may find it difficult to connect all these ideas. Number 5, assessment is always a challenge for the teachers. It is difficult for teachers to give grades because students have different answers. And also, teachers may find it difficult to grade because answers are not always right or wrong. Example, students create different game strategies. The teacher must evaluate teamwork, creativity, and effectiveness, not just correct answers. So, dito ay magkakaiba-iba ang strategy ng bawat grupo sa volleyball. So, kaya ibibase na lang ng guro ang pag-grade sa teamwork, creativity, and effectiveness ng bawat grupo, hindi lamang sa tamang answers. Number 6, the teacher needs to create relevant problems that sustain the interest of pupils. If the problem is not realistic or interesting, a student may lose motivations, and problems must be interesting to keep students engaged. Example, if the problem is too simple, like how do we walk properly, students may not engage. But if the problem is how can we prepare our bodies to avoid injuries before a volleyball game, students are more interested. So dito, in the second question, so mas mapapaisip ang bata dahil interesting ang question. Pero kapag hindi interesting ang mga tanong, mawawala ng gana ang mga estudyante. The last disadvantages is independent learning may result in misconception among pupils. If students explore on their own without proper guidance, they may develop wrong ideas. So, kapag walang tamang gabay ang mga estudyante or proper guidance, maaaring mali ang matutunan ng mga bata. Example, students may think it is okay to continue playing even when injured because of no pain, no gain. Dito kasi is maaring isipin ng estudyante na okay lang maglaro kahit na nasasaktan na dahil sa kasabihang no pain, no gain. So iniisip nila dito na kung walang sakit, wala rin silang makukuhang resulta or pagkapanalo. The summary of my report, Problem Solving in P&H is useful but challenging because it takes more time, needs strong teacher guidance, is harder to grade, requires careful planning, and last, can sometimes confuse students. Thank you for listening. And again, good afternoon, everyone.